Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now, 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports. It's the Steelers going up against the Bisons. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oklahoma City Bison. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
They'll look to throw now on first down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Second down now after the pass completion. He'll look to throw. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The play clock's running down. And why the field goal team is still out there is beyond me. Time to reconsider after the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They bring their punter out there now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
They'll go again with Bell. And a cut to the sideline. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
I know the game continues to evolve, and we have a lot of exotic stuff nowadays. I can't help it. I love a good old-fashioned draw play.
Who's typically fooled on defense on a play like that, a successful draw play?
Typically, it's the defensive line that's fooled because they're just pinning their ears back and going after the quarterback. And once they create some space and you get past them, you usually have a long way to go.
26 yards on the pickup there. And it'll give the Steelers a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Bell. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. This will be caught at about the 6. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick, and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people.
Brendan Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's OKC football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. They'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
That is caught at the 7. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Their big tight end, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And his guys have taken the lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I-formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 8. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward.
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last time when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
It's Ross Cockrell that time that made the tackle.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Here we go. Coleman now. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Back to throw. Dancing to his left. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks...
And it's caught. Touchdown. Robbie Anderson from 10 yards out. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them the lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now back to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll look to throw here. Yep. And this is taken in at the 5. And touchdown! Robbie Anderson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, Roethlisberger. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. 5 yards to gain here on third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Here's Jordan Berry now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now this offense ready to take over again. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as... This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. He'll look to throw. That one complete to Anderson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. So the offensive unit called the TO. And now we are ready to resume play. This is Coleman. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Now, never mind, Larry. Forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Fresh set of downs here. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitive.
And it's caught. It's a touchdown. And we'll have to check the flag, but I think this one's going to stand.
Offside. Defense.
And after a nice game, they don't need the penalty. They'll decline it, take the ball where the play resulted. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And some room to work. And look out. I think he's going to go. Touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 70 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
They'll look to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the two-point conversion for good measure. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. The 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 75 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Taking it right down Broadway. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Anderson's got it. 11 yards for number 11.
A little football one-on-one there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Second down following the run.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Drops it off for Coleman. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he...
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Kevin Pierre-Louis in there to get him for a loss of 5. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And coming off a 1-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Throwing right, and that's complete. Give him 14 on the play. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. On 1st and 10, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Reggie Ragland, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start...
Welcome back, everybody, to Oklahoma City. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So they're challenging the spot.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, and they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Their big-bodied receiver, 45 yards. And if the Steelers can... convert the extra point, they will have the lead. Boswell for the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Here's Coleman fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. And a huge play that time. 54 yards. So they had him bottled up, able to make a man miss, and then boom, off to the races.
And it's how he made him miss. A little bit of... strength, too. Had to work through contact to get him off of him. And then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took off.
They will run again with Coleman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup. And it's good enough for a first down. Red zone opportunity.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
Being chased out, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. They'll look to throw here. That is caught. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Robbie Anderson saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion.
And that third counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. The 3 touchdowns, that's impressive, but without him, they're not winning this game.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Give him 30 yards there. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer up.
Blitz coming and down he goes. Reggie Ragland in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field to try and get up and get it.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push it. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, we got 3 down. Here we go. 1, 9.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first. First and goal. So it'll be first down here after the run.
Let's go. Brad 38. We got 3. Brad 38. Hot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everybody.